Welcome to the Liars Club. This is where we take our guests, we tell them to give us the truth, give us a lie, we figure out which is which. I'm Jessica Wellington.
I'm Felicia Michaels.
And you're about to get lied to.
Jessica, I am so frigging exhausted because I just drove in from Comedy Day in San Francisco. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. This is how much of a dork I am. So it's out in Comedy Day is they do it in Robin Williams Meadow, which is in Golden State Park. And what happens is they do a big show during the middle of the day on a Sunday, right? It's been going on for 30-something years and all that. And I'm standing there, but you can't see the people on stage because the sun is just like, you know, blinding them, right? And so a chick has a hat on, and she's really funny. And I turned to my friend Rich Chassler. I'm like, wow, that chick is really funny. Who is she? And he goes, it's a new girl named Paula Poundstone. I felt like the biggest idiot. But she was so funny. It was an awesome day. But our first guest is, I'm so excited she agreed to do the podcast. I saw her the first time about 3 years ago. And then I saw her last year at the Writers Guild tear a new asshole into the audience. You know how hard it is to kill in front of a bunch of writers at the Writers Guild Theater? It's freaking hard, and she tore a new asshole. Yeah, it was great. And then she was recently at the Montreal Comedy Festival where she had an amazing set. Please, everybody, welcome Erica Rhodes.
Yay!
Oh, what a nice introduction.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We were chit-chatting trying to figure out the levels earlier, and Jessica goes, wow, it's like being around two Felicias. But our second guest is one of my favorite people on the planet. And you are, though. You are. And he's doing such an amazing job as a comedian, is an amazing writer, and he has a web series called Enemies of Dorothy. And it's a wonderful, wonderful web series, and it's starting to get into film festivals. Christopher Smith Bryant, everybody.
Thank you.
Yay.
Does everyone know the term "friend of Dorothy" or whatever?
No.
It's a gay term they used back in the was like the 1920s, meaning that there would be like, oh, your friend is a friend of Dorothy, meaning that they're gay, before they could just outwardly say someone was gay. Yeah.
I saw that you were also on my friend Ngayo's show.
Oh, the Cooking on High?
Yeah.
Hopefully get a season 2. We'll see.
Yeah, that was fun. He's great. He's one of.
Wait, who is your friend on it?
Ngayo.
Oh, you know what? I just was at. There's this thing called 2-Bit Circus in downtown LA. And I was just looking at them. We were playing, like, it's like an arcade where you play games with people. And I was looking at this couple that's playing with me and my boyfriend. I was like, oh my God, you're on that show with me. And it was like this weird, you know what I mean? Where we were like playing for like 5 minutes and didn't realize that we were like in the same show.
Were you both high?
We were, yes. We were high there and we were high beforehand. Right. So. Because they made us, we're on this cooking show, and they make they make you have like try edible marijuana, and you have to judge which is the best, you know, like Top Chef or whatever.
Right. Oh.
And like I knew going into it, I'm like, just taste a bit. Like you don't. I was so messed up. Like I remember, like, I think I was fine while shooting, and then when we went, because they get you an Uber back, you know, after filming. Yeah. And I don't know what inappropriate things I said to my Uber driver, but I'm pretty sure he gave us, like, a low score.
Yeah, you got to be careful, because I know Ngayo did a weed show here, and he had a chocolate bar, and it had, like, 4 slices out of it, and I knew not to eat the whole quarter even, so I split that with Ngayo. And even that, after I was so high on stage, and I thought I was gonna like drown because I couldn't.
You can't breathe. Well, it's like, why do they? I feel like with edibles, they never it's never evenly distributed.
I know.
Like it's like 400 milligrams on the right hand corner, and the rest is just chocolate. And it's like, why? Why?
You don't know,
and you don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this: what was your favorite thing that you tried on that show?
They had it was like a southern mashed potato dish or something that was really good. One of the dishes was not good. And I got like really violent threats because I gave the person like a 6, and I thought it was still being nice. But like, I guess his like weed army got really upset.
Well, a gay 6 is horrible.
What?
A gay 6 is horrible.
Yeah, I thought a gay 6 was nice.
That is nice.
I thought a gay 6 is great.
Yeah.
Wait, but are you judging the actual like baked good or the high after?
Oh,
like,
good question.
They'll
What are
both
you
because
judging?
they wait.
You can't really tell which one made you high, you know what I mean, higher.
Yeah.
But I think I don't. That was the thing is like the other judge, like they wanted to taste the marijuana in the dish, and like I didn't
You didn't want to.
No, I
It
want to.
doesn't taste good.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to taste the
Yeah,
marijuana
I don't
in the
wanna
dish.
taste it or feel it.
Yeah, are you not a stoner at all?
No,
Yeah, it doesn't work for you.
For me.
Yeah, some people it doesn't work. My ex-husband didn't work for him at all.
Did you
Yeah.
smoke as a kid?
I tried it as a teenager.
There's like a theory that if you smoke a lot before your brain is fully developed at 25, that you become like you have a more anxious response to marijuana when you're older. I didn't realize that.
I don't think
No,
I
that makes
I don't
sense.
know because I don't think I knew how to inhale. So I don't think I ever actually did it, but I just thought I did.
Yeah.
You know, or I barely kind of did it.
I
Yeah.
smoked a lot in high school, and now I can't do it as much. So that makes
really?
sense. Yeah.
A lot of people say that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't as strong either, though.
That's true. That's very true.
And we talked about this before. I huffed air freshener.
Yes.
Oh well, now you can't
Vanilla.
do that anymore. Ruin that drug.
Wait, you did what with air freshener?
She huffed it.
So
to get
then we
high.
can't really blame millennials on eating Tide Pods,
No, I know.
right? Like everyone's like, oh, millennial. Like,
That's hilarious. Did people actually eat them though?
Do they get you high?
Yeah, is
eating
that
them?
what's the purpose of that? Just to say you did
think it was, to be honest with you, I don't think anyone actually ate them. I think it was just a joke of like eating Tide Pods because they apparently look delicious. And I don't understand. Do you understand that, Erica?
It's
I don't.
like poison to me.
Yeah.
Well, they had that whole show where people ate detergent and all kinds of stuff. Remember?
No, I didn't watch.
Stranger
Oh, like
addiction.
there's this woman that was addicted to
Jeez.
eating couches, and like her friends couldn't invite her over because she kept eating cotton. Like she would go to their house, and
What?
rip open
Damn it,
their
Jerry,
couch,
we can't keep eating pillows.
and then just start eating the cotton out of their couch. And they really pissed because they're like, I bought this. This was $2,000. Like this.
Does
is
she
a
do
high-
like the front of the couch or she goes behind it?
I don't know,
or-
but they would just like suddenly realize that their couch stuffing was missing because she would eat their couch.
You just entered
Wow.
Felicia's nightmares. 'cause
I
she
know.
just got
I
a
find that
custom couch.
fascinating.
So I'm just gonna come over and eat your couch.
And then all the kids are like, "Your mom's a couch eater."
Your mom's couch.
What a couch.
Yeah. Wow, that is a trip. That is a trip. So, Erica, you also have been doing a show. Can you tell me the name of your show? I know you told me earlier.
Yeah, it's a monthly variety show called the Nightlight Comedy Show.
And how's it been going?
It's been going well. I've been getting some really good guests. Like I interviewed John Cryer last month.
And how was that?
It was great. He was such a nice guest.
Yeah?
Yeah, and his book is really good too if you want to read a good book.
Oh, really?
Well, I got the audio version.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do an interview and then I have music and I have a few comics.
How did you get into
Nice.
doing a variety show? Like, was there something of you that's like, I don't want straight, you know,
I
stand-up?
didn't want to
Yeah?
just do a comedy show. I grew up doing a Prairie Home Companion since I was a kid. So
Okay.
that's a variety show. And so that's kind of what I was trying
You
to
just
replicate.
love like all of the art.
Yeah,
kind of being there.
I just wanted it to be different, you know.
Yeah.
And the interview thing came out of nowhere because I just sort of started doing that even though I never thought I was good at it. And then people were like, "You're good at interviews," and I was like, "Really?" And so then I just kept doing it. I think I'm getting better now, but it's definitely a different art form, interviewing. You know.
And who would be the guest that it's like, oh, if I could get this person on?
Oh, geez, that's a good question. I will.
You know you have a wish list.
Yeah, no, actually, you know, I should make a real list of man, there's so many people I really want to get on.
Chris, can you tell who's who if you were just listening?
Her voice probably has a hint of more hopefulness that rounds it out. Mine's like, did that already, bitch.
I know,
But high,
I
but
do
high.
get compared to you a lot because of my voice, I think.
You know what? And what's so funny is when I was doing comedy back in the day before I quit, like for 8 years for kids or whatever, but I was working in New York City and I was at some Lower East Side club and it was the first time I ever saw Maria Bamford. Erica, it was like fucking watching myself, but with better jokes. Because we had like the same hairdo. And then one time,
Like better joke.
I know. And then one time I was working in San Antonio, and then I had driven with my friend Jeff Singer, who's a comedy booker, and we had driven to
I love
Austin.
Jeff.
Jeff's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's good.
And we had driven to Austin to go hang out, and I was talking to, I think, Jimmy Miller, the guy that, not Jimmy Miller, Dennis Miller's other brother.
Johnny Miller.
No, it's not. It's anyway.
Rich? No.
Rich
Yeah,
Miller.
Rich.
It's exactly Rich Miller. And he was talking to me at the bar, and he was like, "Oh, I have you on the books coming in April." And I was like, "Oh, wow." Because I was middling because I came back in, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow, really?"
Nice.
But I didn't
yeah.
want to immediately say, no, that's not true. And, because I was like, oh, fuck, I got a date again. Okay, good. And then we start talking, and he's talking along, and he's like, yeah, your agent, emailed me the offer or emailed me that you could do it or whatever. And I was like, my agent.
Oh, what a
Oh.
brother.
And then I was like, oh my God, Rich, you think I'm Maria
Oh
Bamford.
my gosh, that is so funny. So like you got compared to Maria, I get compared to Maria and to you.
Right. Well, you're on
They
you're
just think
50% on the right track.
No, they think all blondes are the same. That's
yes,
all.
yeah.
With
No,
high,
no,
with
no, no,
high
you-
voices, high voice
Well,
blondes.
yeah, but you guys do kind of all look alike.
I don't think we look
What
at
the
it.
fuck, Jessica? Not okay. That is completely
insulting,
offensive.
Alicia.
Oh my God, I can't believe you insulted both me and my guest. My God. Dude, Jesus, Jessica.
I didn't mean all blondes look alike.
Oh my god.
Andrew's like, don't say anything. I know I see Andrew. But so we're just going to get along to the game portion of the podcast, and what we do is we invite our guests on to tell two stories, one that is true and one that is a lie, and we're going to rotate it around, and we'll ask questions.
This has been giving me so much anxiety, by the way.
No.
So wait, how?
Wait,
so you
how
tell?
long do we need to tell the story for?
well,
Yeah.
just enough so we understand the story,
Can-
and if you have
Okay.
any asides you would like to explain, but we will ask questions.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, if we don't understand something or we want a little clarification, she's fucking.
I'm bad cop.
She's the
She's
bad
good
cop.
cop.
Yes, I'm the.
I
I'm
do a
the-
little interrogation. You know what I mean? Try to get to the truth.
But the problem is like I'm gonna be questioning
I-
the truth. Like, is this a lie? I don't know.
So anyway, who wants to go first? Erica.
Okay. Wait, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
But why can't you go? You're confident.
Wait, so we just do two? We don't do three stories. We do two.
You
stories?
do you two just like the message that I sent you. No,
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Two
Okay.
stories, one a truth and one
Okay,
lie.
I'll tell one. I'll tell. So I'll do one, then you do one, then I do one.
I thought you were like, I'm
Yes.
gonna tell
Yeah.
one true one. And then I'll tell
No.
The fact that hasn't happened yet is shocking to me.
Okay.
For the whole run.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. So the first film I ever got was in New York, and
As an actress.
as an actress,
Okay.
and it was a sci-fi movie, and
Yeah, what
Yeah.
kind of movie?
I haven't even started yet, Jessica.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You are little Felicia. You are.
You
So-
started on a sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
So, like-
I got it. So I had auditioned like 3 times, and it was a very hard part to get.
What was the part?
It was a robot.
You played a role.
I played a robot.
Was it a blonde robot? Just
No,
a-
she had to wear a wig that was purple.
So wait, it was
Uh-huh.
like an android, like a
Yeah, it was
humanoid.
like it was like a android. Yeah, same thing, right? So anyway, so I got this part, and we shot it in Connecticut, and I don't know why you guys are making me nervous right
No,
now.
I'm interested. I'm interested.
This is hilarious.
And during the shooting of it, a lot of things started to go wrong. Like
They went wrong.
wrong.
Was it you that
Why
caused
I'm
it to
getting
go wrong
nervous.
or wrong? Or
No, just like things on set, like the special effects guy, like couldn't do his job and he kept messing things up. And then like the lead actress like ended up sleeping with the director to get more lines. And so
nice.
she got a bigger part all of a sudden because she like slept with the director. And then another actor kept getting injured. Like he like got a rash all over his body and he like broke his arm and like all these things happened to him.
Okay.
And I was like, what is going on? And my costume was like crazy. Like I was like painted head to toe in like gold paint. And
really?
Yeah. And and at the end of the shoot, they were like, you're not making a movie, you're starring in your own reality TV show. And it was
you got punked?
Yeah, we got punked saying it wasn't actually a movie, it was a reality show about actors struggling to be it, who wanted to make it.
So were those other people those other people that kept getting the rashes and stuff, were they actors?
Were actors. They were like hired actors
for you,
tricking us.
Wait, how long were you shooting this though?
For like a week.
But did they like say you're gonna block off like a month period of?
No, it was like for some reason that was like another weird thing. Was like it was a really short shoot.
Okay, so you
yeah,
that's so weird.
Did you get paid?
Yeah,
and
but not enough.
How many people were they punking at the same time? Three
of us.
And what were the other parts of the other people doing?
What do you mean the other part?
Like what?
They got screwed in other ways. Like one guy had to be like a Siamese twin. Siamese twin with this other guy, and they had to share like a costume, like, go to the bathroom together. And then another guy had to do like all these weird special effects. Like he had to like wear like a green suit and like do all these weird special effects and like stuff like that.
So when they painted your body gold, did you have like a
pasties,
a suit on?
Yeah, I think I had pasties. It was like a very like tight like gold chain dress, and then like I was like head to toe in like gold, like totally gold.
Very interesting.
So wait, I love the idea though that someone created a show on like they're like, I hate actors so much.
Yeah, basically
I want to
they wanted to trick actors into
saying that we would do anything.
Yeah, basically like see how desperate they are.
That's horrible.
But they felt kind of bad because I was like, I know, it was awful.
So when they told you, oh, we punked you, were you pissed?
Yeah, I cried. I was really upset.
Did you really?
Yeah, I cried.
And
Did you
were
sign
they
a
tears
release?
of gold?
Yeah, I signed a release.
No.
I wish. Yeah, actually, I don't. Good question.
Did they put gold on your
Good
face?
question. I don't remember if my face was painted. No, it probably was. It was
Yeah.
probably painted in gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait,
they
did
were
the
probably gold
show
tears.
did the show air?
And yeah, it did.
Oh my god.
And how many did it run for more than a season?
No.
And what
I think
was
it
it?
got canceled right away.
What was it called?
Film Fakers. What's so funny?
It's so fucking
That's
such a
adorable.
great story, adorable. And then I thought, man, if Erica's fucking lying, the fact that she could just come up with film fakers, and it's like, I can never name a project. And you totally, if you're lying, totally just perfectly name that project. So that's why it made me laugh. Film fakers,
have
it
a really
fucking
good
rhymes and
liar.
everything.
Really good liar.
Follow Friday. Yeah, that's good.
Someone's gonna like copyright that now and make that into a show.
We're gonna do a Film Fakers podcast.
Yeah.
The next hour. So that's an amazing story. Do you have any questions you want to ask anybody?
Not at the moment, I don't think. So you Connecticut. I mean, did you live here at the time? to
No, I lived in New York.
You lived in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so that checks out.
I really hope that checks out. I really hope this is a truthful story because I actually want to watch it now. Like, I think it would be so funny to have like just you know what I mean, a viewing party for something.
Yeah.
Do you ever I love to do viewing parties with friends, like embarrassing previous, like their most embarrassing like thing that they've ever done.
God, mine's not even that.
Oh my God.
By the
have
way,
some
Wanda
worse.
Sykes did a show in Montreal at the Montreal Comedy Festival that was very much like that, where comedians would go on and they would show their like most embarrassing sets they ever did for TV.
Really?
And some of them had like stuff from the like when I've known Wanda since the early '90s, and it's hilarious. She did her own and it's funny because it doesn't
God,
look
I
like
love
Wanda.
Wanda.
Anymore. She's awesome. So Christopher, that's a great story, by the way. I just wanted to say,
Oh,
Erica,
It's a great
right-
story.
right out of the gate.
I
Christopher,
hate this so much.
No, it's going to be awesome at it, I think.
My boyfriend says I'm a good liar, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to think of. Okay, I want to talk shit about my ex-boyfriend, so I think this will be a good one. My ex-boyfriend had a recreation of the Oval Office in his house.
What? Wait a minute.
I like it. I like it already.
Why was he
I don't-
obsessed with presidents? What's going on?
Yes, but specifically John F. Kennedy. He had pictures of John F. Kennedy all over his house and was really into it. And he lived with his sister, and they had a kid together.
Wait. Wow.
It's not his kid, but he's the father on the birth certificate. Because I think she just decided to get just get pregnant on her own, and he came in as the father role, and they lived in their old parents' home, and he created their spare living room into a recreation of the Oval Office.
So when you say it was a recreation of the Oval Office, was it a really good recreation, or was it just come on?
It's kind of like seeing those wax museums where it kind of looks like a celebrity but slightly off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of like it, but like a Ross Pay for Less version of the Oval Office.
Was there a bay window?
a bay window?
Because you always see the president. No, good question, Jessica. Yeah,
There wasn't. No, there.
fist
there-
bump on that, Jessica.
I'm getting political.
Because behind the presidential desk, there's always the bay window,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Behind the desk was just a TV.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So it's
That makes that story
So on
sad now.
two sides, it's a faithful recreation, and on the other sides would be there was a couch on the other side and a TV on the other side.
Did he ever want? If I'm asking too private of a question.
Oh no,
please?
I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. Did he ever want to play John F. Kennedy and you, or Marilyn under the desk, or anything like that, or?
No, I think he didn't really want anything to do with me at all. I think I was just he didn't really want to have sex with me ever. I think I was just there because I don't know. I was I'm gonna be a mom. There was I would really I don't know. I just fell head over heel. He reminded me of my dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those. It's one of those things where you learn from someone. You're I think you just I needed to therapeutically go through this relationship. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right,
Yeah,
Yes.
next time you'll see all these red flags. He has.
Does he have a recreation of the Oval Office in his house?
Does he have a kid with his sister? Does he not have sex with you? And do you live in the old family home?
Yeah. That.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
just weird because he would he would give speeches a lot though. He would
In the Oval Office.
yes, his dream was to become president.
Family meeting in the Oval Office.
Yeah, I like that someone had a more outlandish dream than I had.
Right. Oh, okay.
His dream was to become president, and I was okay, my dream isn't so bad. It's
Yeah.
not so ridiculous now.
And what was there any way? Was he in a job or any kind of position to ever become? And that is the stupidest question, considering who we have as
No.
president.
Yeah.
He doesn't even volunteer.
He
He just
what?
would drink. He wouldn't he didn't really volunteer
Uh-huh.
or get involved. He just was I'm gonna be president one day. I'm you know you have to do work to get there.
Right.
Did he have a degree?
I think he did.
Right.
I think he did in film or something really stupid. He got a degree in something very useless.
Yeah.
I believe.
Isn't it weird sometimes when you date someone and they have some weird fucking tick or hobby, and because you're whatever the smell is right, whatever makes it happen, you're just that is so adorable. That is
No, I
adorable.
know. That's the thing.
That
You're
chick who
it's the
John
cutest
Wayne Gacy
thing.
clown paintings. That's fucking adorable.
But then, like, afterwards, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Why is it someone's weird quirks? You're like, no, that's just weird. Like, that's not a quirk. That's a bad habit. Like, and especially, like, the thing is like, he was like, when I'm going to become president, I want to be, like, the quickest assassinated president ever. Like, he's like, I want to be president and then, like, killed faster than any other president so that no one can blame things on me, and I am, like, just held with nostalgia.
Was he a lot older than you?
He was like 30 but looked 40. Like, it was very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
most politicians do.
Yeah,
They do what?
They always
They
look
look
older.
older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's something about it to want to be like, you know, like fake helpful,
Right.
you know?
Right. God, I want to see a picture of the fake Oval Office.
I know you have to have a picture of yourself like
I've
sitting
never
at it.
taken a photo in it. Because, I don't know. I just, like, when I went there, I was just like, this is fine. Everything's fine. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things that you're just like, I just thought it was a, like, cool, quirky thing.
Seems like that would be a piece of information he would have to bust out at the first date. Well, you know, I don't want you to think it's weird, but I have an Oval Office in my living room.
That's the thing, though. He didn't really, he's like how I found out was also really weird, too, because, like, he just sprung it on, like, he's like, oh yeah, and do you mind fetching that from the Oval Office? And I'm like, what? Like, it was just like one of the rooms, and no one thought it was, and for some reason, because no one in the family thought it was abnormal, I was just like, yeah.
If I had a room like that, I would totally do that, though. Excuse me, could you just grab that from the cat room, please?
I think you do. Anytime someone
I think
has
you're already doing that somewhere in your house.
But anytime someone's wealthy enough to just have a room for
Right.
recreation, like, you know what I mean? I think they just assume it's normal.
What was the weirdest thing you ever saw him do in that room?
What was the weird? I'm trying to think. I think mainly just pass out drunk.
Oh, okay.
Like, just like drink too much. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
More so the kids would do weird things. Because he had one kid, but then he had like two other nephews that would come over and stay for the weekends. And it's more so the weird thing the kids would do. Because, like, I would somehow end up, like, being babysitting the kids in the Oval Office.
Where are you from, Chris? Was this here in LA or?
It was LA. It was Van Nuys. That was also the other red flag. He didn't have a car, and he lived in Van Nuys. Oh my God, I was digmatized. I was digmatized.
I've been digmatized plenty of times.
And it was flaccid too. Like, that's the weird. Like, it was never like he had a erectile dysfunction, and
He drank all the time.
Wow.
And I don't know. So yeah, the weird. I would just end up babysitting the kids in the office while they.
And what would they play? Like house or doctor? Or?
The kids were. I feel like the kids just never. I don't want to play house with kids. That sounds weird.
I mean, in the Oval Office, you said they would do weird stuff, so I'm thinking.
It's more just that I just felt like this is inappropriate. Like, it just felt like they're like, here, someone's new boyfriend. You just take care of the kids.
Right.
And I'm like, don't you need to trust me more? Like, I don't know. Like, I would just felt weird because I'm just in this room and they would be like, take care of the kids. And then the
Isn't
kids.
that the ultimate trust?
What?
To take care of the kids?
Yeah.
It's the biggest trust lesson.
And he broke up with me. Like, that's the weirdest. Like, he like didn't call me for 10 days. I'm like, everything's fine. Like, he just like would disappear, and then he broke up with me, and it was just the whole thing was weird.
Do you know what? Did he break up with you because he's like, look, you're trying to be a comedian. I can't be with a comedian. Those dreams are outlandish, and I need to stay focused.
He never told me a reason why. He kind of just broke up with me, and I just like cried hysterically. And then we spent like one last date together, and it was amazing. Like, it was like that amazing last date, but the whole time, like, this is gonna fuck you up psychologically. You know what I mean? Like, when you like take them on their best, like the best sex, best restaurant, but then like cut them out completely afterwards, and it drives them insane.
Yeah.
But I think he was already insane, so I
would say something was
I bet
not
he knew he
ticking
was
correctly.
doing.
Yeah.
Well, that also is that is a fucking frightening story. I'm gonna tell you, that is a weird fucking story. I mean, just that people like that exist. You know?
It's Van Nuys.
Yeah.
That's where they all live.
But I'm very curious if it's a true story.
I know.
Yeah.
The Oval Office.
The Oval Office, but in Van Nuys, that's fucking goofy. So keeping my one eye on you. All right, Erica, your second story.
Okay, so one time when I was in college,
What'd you go to college for?
I went for yeah, I don't know. I went for a year. I only went for a year at Boston University.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So,
Did you have to come home?
did I have to? What do you mean?
Because you said you only went for a year.
Oh, I
so-
went for a year because I dropped out and I moved to New York.
Oh, to be an actress?
Not really. I kind of moved for a guy.
You got digmatized.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was.
Did he have Oval Office, if you know what I mean?
He had a lot of guitars. Basically the same thing.
Right.
Lots of guitars. But yeah.
That'll digmatize you.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So that was probably actually my healthiest relationship I've ever had. That one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Too bad I met him when I was 19.
Aw.
Yeah. But anyway, unrelated to him. Before I met him, I was seeing someone who wasn't that into me, and it was like upsetting me. And so I went to my friend's birthday party, and I was like, I'm gonna meet a boy. And so I did. I met this really good looking guy. He looked like a model, but he didn't say he was I was like, what do you do? Like, he looked like really like rock star-y. Like he was like super like tall and like had like long blonde hair, and I thought he was really
Are we talking
cool.
like buff or like the skinny, lean rock
like
star?
skinny, lean
Yeah.
rock star.
The
rock
best,
and roll.
those
you
are the
know,
best
like-
ones.
Yeah, rock
Them
and roll.
rangy ones.
So I met him at my friend's birthday party. We were at a bar, and he was like, "We want to hang out," and I was like, "Okay." So I went with him to his apartment, and he was living with like 8 roommates. They had like all these bunk beds, and there were like all these guys. And I was like, let's not stay here. Let's go hang out at my dorm. So we went to my dorm, and we hung out there.
Where there's only 2 sets of bunk beds.
Yeah. My roommate wasn't there, and we like made out a little bit, and I think he ended up like spending the night, but nothing really happened. But the next morning he was kind of a dick, and he was like I think I realized in the middle of making out with him that I wasn't into him anymore, and I was like grossed out by him because he was like smelled like cigarettes, and he was like really skinny, and I was just like suddenly not into him. And so I sort of pretended to fall asleep, and I just sort of like passed out. And the next morning he's like getting ready, for whatever he was getting ready to leave, and I was like, "Whoa, like I was like, you're so tall and skinny," and he goes, "Thank you," and I thought that was really lame, and like, and then he was like, he was just really annoying. He was so annoying all of a sudden, like he went from being like this hot, cool. Oh, and he kept lying about what he did. So like first he lied and said he was like a history teacher. Then he lied and said he was a musician. Then so he kept changing the story, like
Well,
what
you
he
can kind of
did.
be both, right? Of those.
No, you can't. Oh, he said he was like a professor at one point. Like he was like making stuff. Like it just kept changing. He said he was like a Native American professor, and then suddenly he was a musician, and then suddenly he, it was like the story kept changing, and so. But anyway, so then he's like, "What are you doing today?" And I was like, "I'm, might go for a run or something," and he was like, "Oh, such a like nerd or something." I was like, "Why? What are you gonna do?" He's like, "Go home and smoke a bowl." And I was like, "Oh wow, you're so cool." So anyway,
and I'm glued to every fucking word. Let me tell you, I'm like, oh, continue.
So then he left, and I went shopping that day, and I went to Urban Outfitters, and
I've never been to one of those.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, never?
No.
Anyway, it used to be cool. It used to be cool because I think it started in Boston, and it used to be really cool. Like it used to be like a thrift store, like
Yeah.
It was like the real deal, and now it's like all the same. But so anyway, so I went to Urban Outfitters to go shopping, and outside there was like a huge mural, like photo of him.
Oh.
Like it was him, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like it was like the biggest.
Was he like the guy from Matchbox 20?
I don't think he was anyone. I think he was just a model. You know, like just a boring ass model boy who was like, but it just
Model
happened.
boy.
He was just so boring. Like I was so not attracted to him anymore. But then I was like, oh, thanks a lot for reminding me of this guy I hung out with that I wasn't really into, and now it's like a huge billboard of him outside of Urban Outfitters.
Interesting.
I like
That's
it.
good. That's really good. If that's not true,
Wow.
she might have been playing up that first story with all the
I
stuttering.
know.
Yeah.
I know. What about if that's her tell when she lies?
It could be that too.
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
why we have anxiety, by the way. It's horrifying.
I love this game.
I know. Yeah, we
It
can
even
tell.
looks like a police station in here, like with a padded walling. I'm like, I don't stop this.
That could be, if that was a mirror, that could be like the double-sided mirror, two-way mirror.
All right, we just need you guys to line up against the wall here. We're gonna take a photo.
Wow. That's a trip. Like to think about which one is the lie on that one. Do you have any questions?
You never talked to him again?
No.
He never called you or anything?
No. It was like very understood that was not going to
And you never ran into him again after that?
No, never. I never saw him again.
Well, if it's a true story, I hope you become the biggest fucking comedy star so that he, in 10 years, is sitting in some fucking shithole and he has a beer belly and he has like 3 kids and his wife is yelling at him. And then he turns on the TV and then there you are. And he'll be like, what the fuck?
There are
How
other
did that
people I
happen?
wish that on more.
Like, he just annoyed me.
Yeah, he was just annoying one night. But I
Right.
have other people I'm like, oh, yeah, I love that image.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I love it.
Did he
I'll
wear...
become a comedy star and have a vodka belly by the time I'm 57. Oh, wait a minute. That's my story. Anyway.
Did he wear leather pants?
No, he wasn't like that. He was like, edgy, not like,
Could
not punk rock.
So you like
He
made
was,
out, so there was probably like a little bit of like, what's it called, grinding?
Yeah, like once we were making out, I realized I was not into this guy at all.
I'm not trying to get weird.
Okay.
I
you as Erica Rhodes and she grinded.
I was wondering if this is how men sometimes feel if they're like really into a girl just because of her looks, and then they make out and they're like,
Right.
oh my God, I don't even like this girl.
Yeah.
Like that's how it felt. Like I felt like, oh,
Yeah.
he's really hot. I should be into him. And then as soon as I was making out with him, I was like, ew.
Yeah,
You know?
because that's true when you go out with someone who's really handsome,
Yeah.
and then but once you see who they really are, you don't see how pretty they are anymore.
No.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I wasn't into him.
Yeah, it's really weird, Felicia.
Yeah, is there something you want to tell us?
Christopher, second story.
Oh no.
Nice one. Nice segue.
Trying to think. Okay. I had. Okay. Have you? I was trapped on an island. With,
All right.
I already believe it. I already believe it.
I believe it. I'll believe
okay.
anything.
I was a Boy Scout, and there's the Neuse River in North Carolina.
Yeah, I know it well.
You know it well.
Oh, fuck.
They
There's
swim
not.
in there?
Relax over here, Jessica. Relax.
It's a real place. Go on.
It's not really like an island, but it's like a little thing in between water. We were like doing kayaking there, and they had really bad weather. And for some reason, it just like we were in this section of the Neuse River. I was in Boy Scouts, and it got like flooded with snakes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you know
Water
any-
moccasins. Don't fuck with them, dude.
What are they called?
Water moccasins.
Water moccasins?
Yeah.
I should explain, by the way, I'm like I was like a horrible Boy Scout. Like I was like the type, like, you know, when you get like the compass and like the map and things like that. I got us lost like multiple times. So I was supposed to like navigate. We're going with where
Were you at the cliffs of the Neuse?
No.
Okay.
I've been that's easy though, because that's
Right.
like a very
the trails on the ship.
Yeah. We were like offhand. Where are you from, by the way? Are you from North Carolina?
Yeah.
What area?
From Mount Olive.
What the? I'm from Goldsboro.
Shut up!
Yes.
He's,
What?
yeah.
What? You're from Mount
Yeah,
Olive?
yeah, like the pickles.
What? How don't we know each other?
I don't know.
No, you don't understand. Our towns are like that. Like,
yeah, like I worked in Goldsboro.
like
that's where the Walmart
my
was.
family's
for years.
all from Mount Olive. Like, we may be related.
It's very true.
Is your family in the KKK too?
Probably. What? How old are you?
How old am I?
Jesus. How dare you, Jessica?
I want to see if we're in the
I'm
same.
no,
That's a
I'm
lie.
turning 30 in a month.
I'm 34. So we
What school did you go to?
Oh, I went to a lot because my dad got married and shit. I went to Southern Wayne. I went to Charles Baycock. I went to.
I went to Eastern Wayne. Was that the one school you didn't? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we were
Eastern.
4 years apart, but that was close enough where we could have.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
weird.
That is
Yeah.
real-
No
What's
one
your-
comes from like from that area of North
Uh-huh.
Carolina. There's nothing there.
Are any of your family left there?
Yes, they're all very North Carolinian.
Yeah, yeah, going to church and
They're going to church and
being nurses.
all of them. No, all of them are nurses. My family is. My mom and my dad are much more liberal. Like they're trying to start like a gay movement. I don't know.
Really?
They're starting a gay movement in North Carolina.
That's great.
Yeah.
I worked at that Winn-Dixie over there. That
Yes. She speaks the truth. Yes.
Imagine if I'm like the best liar, by
I'm
the
an Army
way,
brat.
and I never lived in North Carolina, and I was just like,
well, how would you know Goldsboro? Though?
I know, you
mean,
can't.
Come on.
North
Really?
Carolina town with a Piggly Wiggly. I mean, it could be. No, I mean, that
We had a
could be
Piggly
anywhere.
Wiggly and a Food Line.
Yeah. The problem with this story, I'm realizing, I also had heat stroke. So like, I don't have any of you suffered from heat stroke before?
My niece had a heat stroke when we were at Whole Foods a couple years ago when it got super hot in the valley.
It's refrigerated in there.
But it was one of those super hot days where even just going to the Whole Foods, like we went in and we just quickly grabbed something and we're at the register and when she fainted.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But that's the weird thing is that's like North Carolina doesn't get like that
It's
hot.
humid as fuck.
It's humid or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I got so, because you get like such a bad fever and then you start visualizing, like, you know what I mean? When you're so sick to the point where you're not even like mentally
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just because we were out all day and like.
As a Boy Scout.
As a Boy Scout.
I'm trying to
I
bring the
got my
story back
eagle,
around.
okay?
Yeah.
But I.
You were an Eagle Scout?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
How did you make an Eagle Scout if you kept getting lost?
I don't know. My mom helped me.
In the South, that checks out too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I was really.
Yeah.
Every gay man was a Boy Scout. Every gay man is an Eagle Scout. Like, talk to every gay man. They were a boy. Yeah.
Really?
It was like, I mean, I think when you're like a kid, it's like a gay version of Palm Springs. You know what I mean? Like, you get with a bunch of boys, they take off their. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an excuse to get with nothing but guys and hang out with them. Yeah, shirtless
Yeah.
and swimming and
Yeah.
That's true.
hello.
But we had a heat stroke, and for some reason, like, I got lost with my partner was Andrew. That's not my partner. Like, my 12-year-old self's partner was Andrew. We got so fucking lost because we had like a whole I should also explain, it was to be a part of the Order of the Arrow. What?
No, just like they're like twinsies, and now we're like
We're
we
t-
found our connection.
We are
You know what I mean?
sassy. People don't know what gender we
I'm
are
just all
sometimes.
excited.
I do use the women's bathroom 90% of the time. No, it's the Order of the Arrow, and there's this thing where you can't speak, and you have to go in the woods. And I didn't mean to. Sorry
That's
for
okay,
banging
that's
your
all right,
ears.
no.
And you can't speak, and you have to like, everyone because there's that Air Force base.
Seymour Johnson.
So everyone that's involved with our like scout troop, we're all in Seymour Johnson. They're like, we're gonna make it like Air Force training or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So they would like sometimes like would blindfold us and like make us sleep under like rocks and stuff, and like would like do weird things to make us more manly. And I think. Yeah, so we were like,
that backfired, huh?
because they got us off the cliffs of the
How'd that
nooses.
work out?
the Cliffs of the Neuse is not that big. Like, it's big,
Right.
but it's not huge. And I somehow got us lost. We were kayaking, and I got us lost into this, like, section, and there was, like, water because it was a bad storm. I had a heat stroke because we were out all day, and then we were lost, and there were snakes everywhere, and we couldn't even, like, pinch a tent. I said pinch a tent. Pinch a tent. Because there were like.
I thought you were gonna say pinch a turd.
Because there were snakes, and I was never afraid of snakes until like
Water moccasins will kill you, dude. You're right.
I have the hugest fucking snake phobia. Like my first date with my boyfriend, I took him to the zoo and I showed him like all these snakes because I'm horrified of them now. Like after seeing so many, like I'm like I can't do any of like the Snake on the Plane movies or any of like
Really?
No. I interviewed Miss Rattlesnake down in
Miss
Sweetwater.
Rattlesnake?
It's what did they call her? I forget now, but down in Sweetwater, Texas, and it's a beauty pageant, right? And then part of the pageant is they have to take a rattlesnake, and they have to catch it, and they have to cut the head off and skin it as the pageant.
And I love that in Boy Scouts, I learned none of this.
my
I'm like, what? Maybe I should have done a beauty pageant. Maybe I would have turned out straight then. I don't know.
Wow. So is that the story just that you were swimming
Yeah,
by
I
the
had a
island?
heat stroke. We lost our scoutmaster. And then it was weird because there was like really bad weather. And now that I'm retelling this story, I'm like, their scout leaders should have like just canceled the trip. Like they should have known like there's going to be horrible weather. Like why would we be out here? And we got lost for like a whole day. I think they found us like the Sunday afterwards when like the storm and everything like cleared out. But yeah, there were just snakes everywhere. And we what?
There were just snakes everywhere.
No, that's all I remember. But now I'm like kind of like I was having a heat stroke, so it was also worse because like I was vomiting uncontrollably. Were
you vomiting, paddling, navigating?
No, I actually, and here's the thing is like I could never kayak. Like I couldn't really do the boat stuff. So like that's why my friend was Andrew, because he was just really nice. And like I'm just like sitting in the back like I couldn't do any of the things. I have no idea how I got my eagle. Money.
Your
That's
mom.
true. Oh, mommy.
Your
Yeah,
mom
mommy.
fixed it for you.
Eminem, Mom and Money.
That's my story.
Wow, that I got emotional in that story. That
Emotional?
I got emotional.
Do you have a fear of snakes?
No, you know what? So my thing is, and I realize I think I have to go to therapy for this, you guys, and I'm totally fucking serious. So my thing is, I'm a shitty passenger now. I think I got PTSD, and when I drive in a car with someone, I can get a lot of anxiety when people are driving because, and I'm going to tell you why. I was coming like on a Sunday when the sun was coming down, going down Skirball into the valley. It was really beautiful. There weren't that many cars, so that's why I remember it was a Sunday. And this motorcycle whipped by me, and as he went by me, the motorcycle kind of just laid down, but it didn't look like anything happened. It just laid down, and when it laid down and his arm caught the ground, it started to spin around, and it spun. And you know when you play pool, how you can visualize how the ball is going to go? You could see that he was going to go under this panel truck that was on the other lane, and his head got run over.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
my God.
it gave me an instant migraine. This is like 8 years ago. It gave me an instant migraine, and I called 911 because we were whipping down the thing. So here's the thing. Now when I'm in a car, and I was good for a while, but then I rode with Rich Scheidner. He's an older comic, Rich Scheidner, Canyon Man. He's fucking most amazing comedian. And we did a gig in San Francisco, and he's not a good driver. And I think it scared me because, you know, when you're like, I would drive for a while, and then I started getting tired, and then he would drive, and I couldn't sleep because you get drowsy, and then you wake up because he's all like, yeah, motherfucker, and he's like trying to bail down at like 2:00 in the morning, right? And now I think it awoken that. I'm a terrible fucking passenger. I don't mean to bring up my drama like that, but I was driving with Rich Chassler from Comedy Day, and I realized like I'm endangering us by complaining so much, like, because I'm like, careful, like it's like fucking PTSD.
Have you
want
thought-
to do some exposure therapy with you? I'll just strap you down in the car and we'll drive.
Maybe you just need to not drive with bad drivers.
Well,
'cause-
that's the thing, because there are people I do trust, but what gives it away to me is if you aren't focused and you're futzing with stuff.
Yeah.
Because I saw how quick something can happen and has nothing to do with what you're doing, because that guy wasn't hit by anybody, probably just a pebble on the road that made his motorcycle lay down in some weird way. And so I start freaking out. So that's my weirdness of what I freak, as you were saying snakes, but it's like a phobia
I hate
now.
tailgating too. Like if someone's driving too close to the other car, because you
yes.
can't control. You can control your car, but you can't control the car in front of you if they stop suddenly.
Right.
And that's really dangerous. And
Well, don't go 25 in a 45. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, the two Felicias against North Carolina and go.
Yeah, North Carolina against the High Voice Squad.
I know. We'll combine our voices and everybody will pass out.
Is your family, by the way, okay from the hurricane?
I think so. I haven't talked to him.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Hey, that's just white trash family behavior, right? No, because I don't either. I come from white trash family, and we don't really communicate.
I've kind of given him away. I've given him up
Yeah.
mostly.
Anyway.
My mom's been a nightmare. Like, she's just calling Chris, you have not checked up on me in 5 hours. Like, that type of thing. Of like, and I'm like, Mom, you're fine. You're in the middle of a city. I know it sucks. You're getting rained on. You lost your power for 3 hours. But, like, also.
You don't know if I was dead in the ditch.
Yeah, exactly. That type of thing.
What if there's a tornado and I couldn't go nowhere but lay in the ditch and now I'm stuck?
She started contacting all of my friends to be like, Chris doesn't care about me. He doesn't care if I live or die in this storm. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, Mom, I care about you very greatly. I've called you every single day.
Kiss your mama. That's a wonderful thing that you have that
Well, she
with
got
your
you through
mama.
Eagle Scouts.
Yeah.
She got
She
me.
fucking-
She got me through.
Who knows what the fuck she had to do to get you through Eagle Scouts? She probably had to bake
I
a lot of
don't wanna
cookies.
know.
No, I didn't mean it that way.
Okay.
But she probably had to, like, take them out to the couple to dinner. You know what I mean? You never know what moms do. I'm just saying because I'm a mom. Okay, so we had two amazing stories. We had Erica's story about the fake, what is it, the film fakers. The fake. That's such a great title. And then the one was almost having sex with a model, but that turned out to be
Not really, almost.
well,
but
you
yeah.
macked on a model.
Yeah.
You spent the
shifty
night with
model.
him. That's
Yeah.
fair to say. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
but-
right. Now that you have the sunglasses on, you're right about everything. You're right
What's
about
that
everything.
What's that about?
I love that it's just like reflecting my own shame. Like, I'm just like,
And then Christopher's first story was the Oval Office. His
Yes.
boyfriend that had the Oval Office in his house in Van Nuys.
Right.
And then having heat stroke on a Boy Scout
Snakes.
journey with snakes everywhere in the river. Last time for questions. Andrew, do you have any questions?
no, no.
See, the thing with Erica is that I feel like I did see a show like that.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe she was the star of it.
I know. Maybe she was one of them.
Maybe
Yeah.
I can't hear myself.
You can't?
No, but I'm fine.
So what do you? So
Suddenly.
here we go then. No questions, Jessica?
No, but I have some theories.
Okay.
There is.
Okay. We go deep, you guys. We go deep.
Well, I'm going to start off with Christopher.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Wait. So are we all going to guess?
Yes,
Before-
you may
before
play
we
along.
do the
Please play
reveal?
along.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to.
Absolutely. So I'm going to
I'm holding,
Start with
covering my
Christopher.
face.
because he even kind of told on himself, right?
Oh,
because
God damn
in the
it.
South, right, we are huge about storms. Am I right? Okay. Yes, we are. And lightning. Am I right?
Yes.
If there's lightning, you are not out on the water. Okay. You might be in the bathtub. My aunt even made me put on my shoes because that deflects the lightning. All right. You put on
Suddenly
that
her
because of
accent
the,
came out.
'cause of the
That
rubber.
deflects the lightning.
So I do not think that you were out on the Neuse River
During a storm.
during a storm. That's a lie.
Interesting.
I feel passionate about that one.
Wow. Wow. It's not. Suddenly you're Angela Lansbury or some shit. You know what I mean? And so you think the Boy Scout story is a lie, but the Oval Office in Van Nuys is the truth.
Yep.
Okay. Erica? What are your thoughts?
I second that notion mostly because his eyes were like up to the ceiling, and when people are lying, their eyes start traveling.
Oh,
That is
If
true.
they're not used to lying, their
Wow.
eyes start wandering.
like let me think.
Actually, I think there's a specific place they go, like either to the left side. Is it to the left? Yeah, left side. But his eyes were like way crazy up.
I like that Andrew agrees with you. We've been doing this fucking podcast for 15 weeks, and you've never brought that up about lies that people look up and away at during when they lie.
Yeah,
You're supposed to give us that information
don't
if you
act
know
like
that.
You just know, and then not even have told
Yeah,
us.
how do I know more about this subject than
I know you're the producer.
Yeah, I don't talk. Go back and watch Man of the House with Tommy Lee Jones, and he says it in the movie. So, bam. Yeah.
I know,
Research
but
done.
you got to tell us about that. You got to tell us about that. All right.
So do I reveal?
Yes.
Wait,
Oh no, I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Yeah.
I want the
Just do your gut.
I think I want the Oval Office one to be real, but it kind of seems like it would be someone else's story that you've taken over. Because I think that if
Interesting.
those guys I totally think men will bring boys into any kind of danger because they're, because dads, fucking dads.
Dads.
So I think
Says
the
it all.
second story is true and the first story is not.
Really?
Wow,
You think
you're
he was
good.
out on the Neuse River during a storm? That's what you're telling me.
Okay. Stop bullying me, Jessica. That's what I'm telling
To
you.
be fair,
Sorry
this was
about that.
before they had Google news things.
alerts.
Storm alerts. Okay, listen, the storm thing was a lie.
Do you feel relieved? I feel like you were kind of.
I was
good
actually an
story,
Eagle
though.
Scout.
It was
and we
good.
have been out in storms before. So that was the part that I was like, darn it, that's the giveaway. Because that was like, that was the one thing is they would literally, every time we'd have a camping trip would be storms. But I don't have a fear of snakes.
I think I had one too many of them. Like if it had just been snakes or just the storm or just the heat stroke, but it was like you kept piling on,
That's true.
which made it more suspicious.
The truth is that was inspired by a true story, though.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. I took a little bit of my boyfriend's story, and he's like, but if you tell him like this, and I'm like, okay, well,
So
I'm
the,
bad at lying. I can't do it.
Yeah.
so the Oval Office is is
I warned you beforehand, though. I was like, I
You
was
tricked
almost gonna.
Felicia.
Well,
you
but
did.
Felicia has love in her heart for me. That's why. It's because Felicia would feel like she wants to be on my side and she wants me to feel good afterwards. I don't think I really tricked her.
no,
I think you might have.
because I just thought the Oval Office thing is so weird.
Or she wants you to be sick and have a fear of snakes. I mean, depends how you look at it.
Yeah, the weird thing is I was like, I was trying to think of like what stories to tell, and I was like, the Oval Office. I was like, this is too many specifics to be a lie. It's hard to make a lying story.
yeah.
Because you can't have too
It
many.
is.
That's why I added heat stroke. Because it's like, okay, if I add heat stroke, then I can just be
Right.
like, I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to give some lying recommendations after this.
No, I thought you did good, but I
need some lying referrals though. I mean, it would help me in
No, I thought it was good.
situations.
I thought it was good.
Thank
But
you,
I
lovely.
think we have a master player
Yeah.
over here.
I did too.
So Erica, the stories were the film fakers, and then the boyfriend. I mean, not the boyfriend, the gentleman that was a model that you macked out with, but then you were like, ugh, no personality.
Right.
I do believe the billboard thing because after I got divorced, wherever I was having a bad moment for any kind of reason, if I was out in public, it would always be like a bus would go by with my ex-husband's show on it. You know what I mean? So like I totally
Yeah.
like I
Right.
like that you
Also,
took
it's
that
American
element of the
Apparel
story.
model too. Like
Yeah.
that's not like a high. That's like a $500 job.
Outfitters.
Oh, Urban
Yeah.
Outfitters.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought, are they the same thing?
Pardon?
I was going to ask.
Basically similar. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
similar, like,
Yeah.
level of clothing.
Like American
Yeah.
Eagle?
No, that's, well, actually, I don't know.
I don't
They're
know.
all the same.
It's all made in the same factory. But the first story is the film fakers.
I think she was
God.
playing that one up.
I know, but
But there's so many specifics to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it seems like
but
it's
I
so.
think you would remember if someone painted your face gold. That's where I get a little bit goofy with the story.
Right? I think she did that on purpose.
Mhm.
So what do you
And I
think?
think she did the stuttering on purpose. I think she's good.
Yeah.
I think she's really yeah.
I should put my glasses on.
I think she's really, really good.
What are your thoughts, Andrew?
Where are my glasses?
My thoughts are, I think the first story is true. The film fakers. The name seems so off though. But I know there's like so many stupid, for lack of a better word, reality shows. Like there's one about covering up tattoos. So like there's just so much crazy stuff out there that is very, very possible. And I feel like the other one about making out with the dude that's a model is maybe you were the roommate that wasn't home. That's my thought.
Wow, you actually listen.
I think
love
I
that.
agree. I think the first one. Wait. What were we saying with you? I believe what they say.
I think the first one. I think the first one's true.
First one's true. Yes.
And I think you were playing it up to make us think that you were lying.
Erica's smart.
Yep.
I've read her Twitter.
Yeah.
She writes smart things.
Yeah,
She's
but
really
that
good
was
with
that was
puns.
fast on her feet about the film fakers. But you're saying you think that's true?
I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think it's true. I think she stuttered and all that just to throw us off the trail.
Right. But then the 8 bunk beds, all those bunk beds, that little detail in the story about the model.
That's
Right.
a good detail. I also think Erica's had sex with multiple models. That's one of my
Why,
other
thank
theories.
you.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
multiple models.
Take that as a huge compliment that I can get a bunch of models.
Yep, I agree
Okay,
with that
I'm
one.
gonna say, God, I want film fakers to be true.
Well, I
I
think
love how you decide
You
based on what
want
you
them.
want.
I
Which one do I want to be true?
All right. I'm gonna go with Jessica and Christopher. I think the first one is
Ooh.
wrong, and the second one is
She's gonna fool
No,
all
no,
of
no.
us.
no. The first one is true. And the film fakers is true.
So
and the
everyone
second,
agreed about which
Yeah.
one?
Film fakers being true.
the number 1 story was true.
what is it?
You guys are right.
Yes, I almost went the other way.
But I did. It is actually, the other story is true. I just changed 2 things. I
All right.
changed the location from New York to Boston, and I changed the clothing store from H&M to
The most minimal details.
You know, Felicia, you know what this means, right, Felicia? You know what this means?
What the fuck? What the fuck kind of logic is that, Erica Rhodes?
I just couldn't come
Erica.
up with a lie fast enough.
Erica.
It's hard. I stole someone else's story. How do people just go up and say
That's
lies?
okay to do. That's
Erica.
okay to do.
McDonald's, not
That
Burger King.
means
Yeah.
that second story
Yeah.
is true.
No, it's not technically.
No,
we
because
we gotta
because I
have
had
a
Because
rule
it
book.
wasn't Chicago.
I had details that were not true.
the detail, but the nut of the story, like the meat of the story.
The location was totally different.
We shouldn't be upset because we got it right. Like we knew.
We just got fucking punked by Erica Rhodes.
I almost did them exactly how they were, just to be like, I just did 2, but then
I
was
was
like, no,
thinking of doing the same thing.
really?
Yeah,
I
and
was
just being like,
it's really hard to make up a story on the fly, and
so
I
you
just
really told two
No,
true
but-
stories. You
well,
did.
Yes.
kind of, but
You did. You changed.
but then
the,
you like felt guilty about it. I was like, no, I'm changing 2 things, so
yeah,
it's a
I
lot.
changed 2 things, and it
Aw.
didn't happen. It didn't happen when I was in college. It happened later, so that's a lot of details.
But it happened.
Erica's a cutie.
Well, technically it is
Thank
a
you.
lie. I'm gonna say
It
technically
was
it is.
it was
All
filled
right.
with lies. It was filled with
Right.
lies.
Well, I hope you guys got it right out there, and thank you everyone for listening. Where can people catch you guys?
Oh God. You can go on Instagram. I'm at Tinder Chris with TEN. I did it a while ago, and now I'm like, fuck. I have all these followers. Like, I can't change my name. So now I have like, it's the worst. It's like getting introduced on a show, and someone's like, he's Instagram famous. It's like, oh gosh, darn it. Like, you know what I mean? It's the worst. But yeah, you can find me on Tinder Chris. And that's it. You go watch Cooking on High, so we get a season 2. Oh, and Enemies of Dorothy on.
Yes, that's a
we're on
wonderful
Facebook,
series, Enemies of Dorothy.
and we'll be in the. When are we releasing this?
Maybe a week or 2.
Oh, perfect. Then
Yeah.
you can catch us at New Fest in New York at the end of
Nice.
October.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Erica?
I have a website that's ericarhodescomedy.com. Don't laugh.
Is any of that false?
One letter is wrong.
But I'm not spelling it, so only
Yes,
I know.
I feel guilty now. I did it wrong. I'll have to do it the right way some other time.
Yes, come back and do it the right way.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But and then Erica Rhodes 22 on Instagram and at Erica Rhodes, which is a lie, and at Erica Rhodes on Twitter.
Okay, wonderful. And Andrew, do you want to throw anything out for our listeners?
Yes, I have a few things. Gotta slide there we go. Sorry, listening folks. A few things. I have 2 hashtags I want to do for this one possibly.
Okay.
Faux-val Office. I just thought of that one. I
Okay.
thought that was good. And
What
then
does Faux-val mean?
Yeah, what does that
faux,
mean?
like FAUX, like
Oh,
faux.
that's funny.
Oh.
That's funny.
Hashtag. And then the other one was digmatized. Either one. I don't know. I just thought of that.
Stigmatized.
But,
I know. I like that term.
Yeah, I like it as well. And if you want to hear the origin of Felicia's story of getting PTSD, go back and listen to our Tamara Catan and Justin Martin.
Did I tell that on
You
that?
did. It's not a big deal, but
well, no, we can take
go
it right
back. No,
out.
no, it's fine.
We can take it out.
Having issues.
No, just because I experienced that.
But also,
Sorry to repeat the story, but I realize I need to go therapy. Sorry to be
I'm
real. Sorry,
Um,
Andrew. I got
Probably
real.
need to go for other reasons too.
Fuck you, fake fucking liar.
But yeah, also thank you for listening. Please follow us, subscribe to everything whatever we're on Stitcher, YouTube, iTunes, all the fun podcast apps. Tell your friends, please download and give us a rate, give us a subscribe, give us a review. Anything that you do would be greatly appreciated.
Money, give money.
Money, we take that. We don't have a PayPal, but I'll set one up.
set one
But also, you can follow me anywhere at @1AndrewRose. And yeah, thank you.
Jessica.
Follow me at Jess Wellington 2 on everything. Amen.
Okay, that was weird. I'm Felicia Michaels. Thank you so much for everyone that has went and downloaded us and went to other episodes. We've been having such a great time here at the Comedy Store where we record doing these podcasts, and it's just a lot of fun to get together with people because in comedy you have different circles, and to bring different circles together and just laugh with people has been an amazing time, and we hope to do this for a while. And you can follow me anywhere at Felicia Michaels.
And you've been lied to.
Kind of.
Fucking Erica Rhodes.
You've been lied to about being lied to.